Hey y'all, I'm so excited for you to join me, and this is actually take three, so hopefully you didn't get cut off on part one or two. If you did, watch this. And this is day two of Master Your Influence on Video, and I'm so excited for you to be here. I know a lot of you are, using videos for either your blogs, for your live stream, for your webinars, or creating online courses. And that's why I'm so excited to share this content with you, is how to master your influence so that you create the same transformation that you help your, private clients and people in your groups create in your videos for your audience, to be able to create those same transformations where they don't have you one-on-one with them. And as you think about this, it's like the number one most important thing your audience needs from you is your presence. And it's the energy and your passion and enthusiasm. That is the number one thing, that if your audience feels that, you will be golden, because you'll be able to connect with them on a heart-to-heart level. And when you think of your presence, it's, I like the metaphor of the difference between being a thermometer and being the thermostat. Hey, Andrea, how are you? Welcome, welcome. So yeah, the difference is between being a thermometer and a thermostat. And the thermometer takes the temperature of the room, where the thermostat really directs the temperature of the room. And that's the same thing, that concept here in your developing your influence on in your videos, is you are basically the thermostat, directing and the energy and emotion of your audience. And when you can master that, that is your powerhouse of influence and persuasion, is being able to direct the energy and emotion of your audience versus just kind of taking the temperature of the room. And one of the things, the two most important keys in your videos is the beginning and the end. And, people don't remember necessarily what you say, it's how you make them feel. And that's why in the beginning, you want to raise up the energy in your video, because you have maybe 10 to 15 seconds to either capture their attention or they're going to go somewhere else, and that's where you want to raise up that level of energy and enthusiasm and passion. And you don't want it to be some like spastastic where you're bouncing off the walls, because you don't want to distract your audience or distract your audience from your message and your content. And the same thing at the very end of your video, depending on how long whatever you're doing, is you want to raise up that level of energy again and crescendo it up. Because in the middle, you might go through some of the deeper concepts and thought, and some of the more challenging things. So you want to be able to level up their level of energy and crescendo, and bring up their energy as well. And that's why you really want, the more that you can master this melody and this dance with your audience, your audience will connect with you and will feel like, oh my God, they're just going to connect with you and feel like you're in their head and in their hearts. And I personally realized the importance of this. I was actually at a mastermind end of November, and I didn't realize this at the time, but it was at the end of the meeting, and everyone had a round table where they had a couple minutes to share, what they're working on, what they need support on. And I remember the person before me going, and they were sharing some very deep vulnerability and emotion. And it was heavy, and it served the person very powerfully, as well as the group. But after they were done speaking, it's like you can still feel the weight of the emotion. And I was going to go next, and even now I still get nervous and anxious before speaking in front of groups. And so I channeled that nervousness and that energy into bringing up that energy of the room, and brought the passion, I brought the energy, and towards the end I kind of made fun of myself, of like everything that I've learned as a presenter just kind of went out the window, and it got people laughing, and it basically brought back the joy and the energy. And that's where it was, after I left, that I realized how important it is as an influencer, as a leader, as a speaker, as a presenter, of being that thermostat and being the one who directs and guides people's emotions and energy, and really being that rock for people and being that grounded center. And one of the exercises that I have for this before you go on video is, because you never want to go stiff and tight and as if before doing anything. You want to warm up beforehand, so that the moment that you hit broadcast, the moment that you hit record, you're in your sweet spot, you're in your zone, and you're ready to go. So one of the exercises that I have is, one is the way I used to channel my anxiety, my nervousness. And I want you to remember, anytime you're nervous, it's because you care. And when, like, that's, yeah, so whenever you're nervous, you care about your audience, you care about their success, you care about them, and you want that to see them succeed, and you want them to create that transformation in their lives. So it's allowing you to fuel that nervousness. And one of the things that I do is I do a lot of deep breathing, and it's that powerful where it's like literally, not only does it oxygenate your body and your brain, but it allows the energy to flow through your body, so you're not like stiff and robotic. And another thing that I like to do is to like casually like bounce around in place, and to kind of loosen up the shoulders and the body, so that you're flexible and you're moving, so that you start to move with more gesture, so that when you do go on video, you're using the gestures of your body to emphasize your message and your content, and it comes off as enthusiasm and passion. So that's why, in combination of doing the deep breathing while kind of slowly, gently bouncing in place and loosening up your body, you're not like doing something crazy. It's just getting loose and flexible, and just really grounding yourself in the present moment to really elevate your energy, because we're not always going to feel like recording a video, or feel like going on and presenting and speaking, but we are all called to do that. And it's, how do you generate your energy? How do you generate your passion? How do you generate your enthusiasm? That is your key to influence, and that is exactly what your audience needs. And the second power practice that I have is, to be generous and compassionate with your audience. And that's why you always want to lead with your best work, and be generous about it, and give them so much value, because your best work is yet to come. And the more that you give, the more people are like, if your free stuff is this good, they're definitely going to trust you on your paid stuff, because you've already over delivered on their expectations. And the more transparent you are, the more that they're going to connect with you. And you also want to be compassionate with them, and really honor that person for where they are in their journey. For the fact that if you're in personal development, the fact that you care about your personal development, and that you're investing in yourself, the time, the energy, and the resources to develop yourself, so that you actually, reach your full potential. You want to honor where they are, and the struggle and the challenges that they're facing. Because I feel like, as like coaches and mentors and trainers, we kind of forget what it's like to just get started, or when the road gets tough, and where it's really that resistance comes in, that, the self-doubt comes in. And it's honoring your people where they are, and giving them that support, that encouragement to take them to that next level, and to also commit to their new beliefs, and that commitment to themselves and the purpose in their lives. That's where people are going to come radiating towards you, because that's what people need, to be supported and developed, because leaders aren't created, they're not born, they're developed. And when you provide that value and generosity, in combination with honoring where they are and really speaking from their level of truth, your audience is going to love you. And another thing that I like to do to get me in that place is, so after I do the breathing exercise and kind of loosening up my body, I take a moment to close my eyes, and I really envision that one specific person that I'm speaking to, and really envisioning them there if you don't have an audience to go off of, and really asking myself, I'm like, what is going on in their lives right now? What's happening in their day? And for this specific video, what's the number one outcome or takeaway that they need to have at this moment? And what are the bullets for them to get them to that point that I need to cover? And when you create that intention of thinking about that one specific person, where exactly in their journey are, and what the number one outcome and takeaway that they need and the exact bullets that you need to cover for them to understand it, the more that you will be able to influence them. Because you're going to speak from the place of, really knowing exactly speaking their language. And we're going to cover more of the tactics of this tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. But that's where it's like kind of giving yourself that time to really, right before you hit the record button, to close your eyes, envision that person, really connect to your own heart in order to connect to their heart. And, kind of get that guidance of what message do I need to deliver for them? How do I need to show up for them? And really honoring, coming from that place, you'll be able to master that influence in your videos. And you'll also be able to master having your audience create the same transformation that you do with your one-on-one clients or in groups. And that's really powerful. So I want to recap in the two exercises is you want to be the thermostat, not the thermometer, and you really want to be able to direct the motion and energy of your group. So take the time to channel your nerves and the energy that you're feeling to do the deep breathing, and as well as bouncing around to loosen up your body. And you also want to close your eyes and take a moment to think of exactly that one specific person you're speaking to, and to master your message so that when you hit that record button, you're in your sweet spot, you're in your zone. And it's important to do whatever it takes for you to reach that level of energy that you need, to generate that level of energy, to generate that level of presence, to generate that level of enthusiasm and passion, because that is the number one thing that your audience needs to experience from you. And to stay tuned and stick around. So hopefully that helps. And if you do have any questions, write them in the comments. Oh, another question that I know typically get is, should I do video or should I do live stream? And those, because they're two very different dynamics. Because in your video, you have the ability to take as many takes as you want and to cut and edit your video and put it in a specific format. But you don't have the benefit of an audience unless you have people in the room to really feed off of their energy. Where with live stream, you really have that one chance to go. There's no redo, so if you mess up, you kind of have to really be on your toes and on your feet to really pick up and keep moving. But you do have the energy of your audience to either comment in the chat box or, to engage with you so that you're not just kind of like, speaking and presenting and just kind of, robotic almost. You're able to engage with your audience. And that's where I feel like it's important to master both. Because whether you're, in your business, there's going to be times where, especially if you're going to do create content for your blog, or if you're creating online courses, you want to be able to master how to present and influence on video. And also the quality, the professional quality is a lot better versus live stream. But then you also want to be able to master engaging with an audience and how to connect with an audience and being able to, share your message and know your message so well that you can go from start to finish without having to stop, without having to cut and break. So you want to be able to master both because you're going to be using both elements in your business to grow your audience and to grow your business. So I feel like it's so powerful to learn both. Start with one. Learn to master one because those skills will definitely transfer to the other. So whatever you get excited about starting with right now, get started, start mastering, take your video skill, take your influence skill to that next level, and, eventually take it to the next one and push yourself. One of the things as leaders, as influencers, is we have to develop ourselves and be resilient to the changing times. And video and live stream and webinars and online courses are huge and popular. It's, over a $2 billion industry. So developing your skill set to help you stay in the game and keep you in the game long term is the number one important thing that you must do. And as well as, how to authentically come up in video. And so I hope that helps you. Stay tuned for tomorrow. We're going to go into the tactics of persuasion and really how do you persuade somebody to believe something, to take action, and to make that commitment? So stay tuned for that. Always keep radiating your beautiful light to the world, living life with passion, purpose, and meaning. With love and belief in you, Elena. Love you.